Wells Fargo employees secretly opened up to 3.5 million bank accounts and credit cards that customers never asked for, never signed up for, and in many cases never even knew existed. Some people only found out when a debt collector called asking why they hadn't paid a credit card bill for a card sitting in their name that they'd never applied for. This wasn't a glitch. It was policy. Inside the branches, employees called it 8 is great, a company-wide quota demanding every customer walk out with 8 separate Wells Fargo products. Fall short, and you could be written up, demoted, or fired on the spot. So thousands of employees started hitting the number the only way they could. They forged signatures on new account paperwork. They moved real money out of a customer's checking account to fund a fake savings account, sometimes triggering overdraft fees on money the customer didn't even know had moved. Some employees even created fake email addresses so customers would never see the welcome letters exposing the whole thing. We post a new one of these every single day, so if buried corporate secrets like this get your attention, subscribing means you never miss the next one. Here's the part that should make you angrier than the accounts themselves. A former employee named Claudia Ponce de Leon called the official Wells Fargo ethics hotline to report the fraud she was watching happen around her in a Lowe's Angels branch. Weeks later, she was fired, not the people forging the signatures. When regulators finally dug in, they found this hadn't been a few bad months. Internal audits had flagged the pattern as far back as 2002, more than a decade before the scandal became public in 2016. Leadership had the paperwork the entire time and buried it instead of stopping it. If a company can bury a warning for 14 years, comment below and tell us what other corporate secret you think is still sitting in a drawer somewhere waiting to come out. And hit that bell so you catch tomorrow's story the moment it drops. Wells Fargo eventually fired 5,300 employees, the tellers and low-level staff who'd been squeezed by the quota. CEO John Stumpf resigned and forfeited $41 million in stock. But Carrie Tallstedt, the executive who ran the division for years, walked away with a retirement package worth roughly $125 million before regulators later clawed some of it back and banned her from banking for life. By 2020, Wells Fargo had paid out $3 billion in fines and settlements, and the number of fake accounts under investigation kept climbing the deeper regulators looked. It started with a debt collector's phone call about a card that shouldn't have existed. Subscribe and tap the bell, because tomorrow's secret is buried just as deep.